health workers. UK to prioritize illegal migration at European summit. Top Australian soldier loses war crimes defamation lawsuit.
This is the news.
The federal government and the striking Joint Health Sector Union will reconvene today in a bid to find a resolution to the ongoing indefinite strike. The National Vice Chairman of JOISU, Dr. Obina Ogbonna, made this known during a media chat. Members of the union embarked on an indefinite strike last Thursday to press home their demands. The unions had met with the government last Thursday, but the meeting ended in a deadlock. Zimbabwe's parliament has voted in favor of a controversial bill to punish citizens for unpatriotic acts, including imposing heavy fines or even the death penalty on them. The Patriot Clause of the Criminal Act targets those who harm the national interest of Zimbabwe. It includes any citizen who meets a representative of a foreign country with the aim of encouraging sanctions against Zimbabwe or overthrowing the government. Many senior government officials and state-owned companies are under Western sanctions over alleged human rights abuses. They've long blamed the opposition for this and want to stop meetings between the opposition and foreign officials. Parliament voted 99 to 17 in favor of the law, one of the most controversial of Emerson Mnangagwa's presidency. It will now go to the Senate before it is signed into law. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has said stopping illegal immigration and securing borders must be top of the agenda as he meets fellow European leaders in Moldova. He said Europe was facing unprecedented threats at the borders. The UK has announced it will enter talks with Moldova on an agreement to return migrants arriving illegally. It also says a similar deal struck with Georgia has now entered into force. However, the main focus of the European Political Community Summit is likely to be the Ukraine war. Other common challenges that will be discussed include energy supplies and cyber security. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has arrived in Chisinau, Moldova, for a summit bringing together leaders of at least 40 European countries to discuss the war in Ukraine. The group, called the European Political Community, was formed following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine last year. President Zelensky reiterated his working on support for a coalition of powers to supply fighter jets to help Ukraine repel Russian forces, and that he will also discuss his peace plan. Ukraine's aspirations to join the NATO military alliance and the European Union are also on the agenda. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is also attending the APC. You're on to Global News from Adaba 88.9 FM, Akure, transmitting from Ilara Mokin. After the break, top Australian soldier loses war crimes defamation lawsuit. Details in the second part of the bulletin. Join us again.
You can place your business and brand adverts on Adaba 88.9 FM online platforms, at Adaba FM TV on YouTube, Adaba 88.9 FM on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. With an audience of over 60,000 people across all our social media platforms and a reach of over 315,000 overall. Call these numbers today to push your market before that audience. Kadzim on 080-30414344 or Hazan on 080-650-77920 or Feyi on 0814-138-8719 or Temi on 080-66766-944. You can place your business and brand adverts on Adaba 88.9 FM online platforms at Adaba FM TV on YouTube, Adaba 88.9 FM on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. With an audience of over 60,000 people across all our social media platforms and a reach of over 315,000 overall. Call these numbers today to push your market before that audience. Kadzim on 080 3041444 or Hazan on 080-650-77920 or Feyi on 0814-138-8719 or Temi on 080-667669.
To update the live streaming, visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/AdabFM88.9 on Facebook, at Adaba889FM on Instagram, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. You can also provide us information via email, newsroom@adaba889.fm. And to the rest of the bulletin. Ukrainian officials say at least 3 people, including a girl and a mother, were killed in a Russian missile strike in Kiev. Earlier on Thursday, Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov said 8 people had been wounded and some buildings damaged in overnight shelling by Ukrainian forces. In view of these attacks, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says Russia's Defense Ministry, border guards, emergency services, and local authorities are constantly reporting to President Vladimir Putin on the situation in the Belgorod region. President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Moldova for a European summit, pressing his case for NATO membership as the military alliance meets in Oslo. New Zealand police have charged a 48-year-old man with 5 counts of murder in relation to a deadly hostile fire. He had already been detained and charged with arson over the blaze in Wellington last month. Loafers Lodge, a 4-story emergency arson hostel in the capital, burned down on May the 16th, killing 5 people. The incident has renewed debate about New Zealand's housing crisis, as the site had been home to members of vulnerable and marginalized groups. Located just a block away from Wellington City Hospital, many hospital workers had also relied on it for short-term accommodation. The Mauritanian government has cut off the internet and mobile phones a day after demonstrations linked to the death of a young man in police custody. Report says all internet connections and mobile phones were down, but landlines continued to work and economic activity continued. Demonstrations took place in the capital, Nouakchott, and Bourg, south of the country, to demand justice for Omar Diop. Mr. Diop was arrested on Monday evening in Nouakchott after taking part in a fight. He died a few hours later in hospital with respiratory problems. The Interior Ministry said an autopsy and inquest are underway to determine the circumstances of the death. Australia's most decorated living soldier, Ben Roberts-Smith, has lost a historic defamation case against 3 newspapers that accused him of war crimes in Afghanistan. The athlete was sued over articles alleging he killed unarmed prisoners. The civil trial was the first time a court has assessed accusations of war crimes by Australian forces. A judge said 4 of the 6 murder allegations, all denied by the soldier, was substantially true. Justice Anthony Besanko found the newspapers had not been able to prove other reports that he assaulted a woman with whom he was having an affair, or that he had threatened to report a junior colleague if he did not falsify field reports. However, additional allegations of bullying were found to be true. Mr. Roberts-Smith, who left the Defense Force in 2013, has not been charged over any of the claims and no findings have been made against him in a criminal court where there is a higher burden of proof. The 44-year-old was not present for Thursday's judgment. And to end global news, a recap of our top stories. We told you that the federal government and the striking Joint Health Sector Union, JOESU, will reconvene today in a bid to find a resolution to the ongoing indefinite strike. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has said stopping illegal immigration and securing borders must be top of the agenda as he meets fellow European leaders in Moldova. And Australia's most decorated living soldier, Ben Roberts-Smith, has lost a historic defamation case against 3 newspapers that accused him of war crimes in Afghanistan. That's Global News. It was edited by Olabisi Olaniyi Oluwasegun. I'm Adeola Adekunle. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.